Hello everyone, I am back. This is Brian with ZimCo Survival, and today I'm going to go ahead and do a review for you guys on one component of my ultralight cooking kit. Now, I've already done reviews on the two larger pots, but this is the Toaks 750ml pot. Typically, my kit, and I'll go ahead and do reviews on these as well in just a second, but this is part of my ultralight cooking kit. Now, if I'm going out alone, I'll bring this. If I'm going out with myself and my wife, I'll bring the 1100 too. And if I'm going out with a large group of people, I bring the 1600 and I have the complete kit going. But if I'm just going out alone, this is what I bring. Now, this size pot here is large enough to make a stew for me. So, you know, if I get lucky and I manage to get a rabbit or something, I can make a stew in this. I'm not going to be demonstrating cooking and boiling water in this. I'm just going to let you guys know off the bat. I'm going to do a review, go over the specs, kind of let you guys know why I like it. But there are 100 videos of this thing boiling water. And it is a pot. You can boil water in a plastic water bottle if you know what you're doing. And so a titanium pot is going to boil water just like every other pot. In fact, it might boil it a little bit faster because of how quickly it transfers heat, but it's boiling water. You know, it's not that big of a deal with this. So normally when I have pots and stuff, I like to show cooking in them, actually cooking, not just boiling water, but cooking. And in this particular instance, this is a little bit small for something I cook, you know, anything serious in, maybe grits, something like that. But this is mainly going to be a water boiling pot. This is something that you're going to be using when you're actually, you know, cooking ramen or something of that nature, or rehydrating a mountain house meal. This is not something that you're going to be really cooking in. Now, if you want to cook in a pot, I would recommend the 1100. Even if you're going to go ahead and use it as a solo pot, it's not too much larger than this. It doesn't weigh much more, but it gives you the cooking option in a way that is actually beneficial. This, you know, it's not a large, it's kind of like the size of a large mug. It's not a cooking style pot. So I just want to go ahead and let you guys know that. As a result, because I can't cook in it, or very limited in my cooking ability with this particular pot, I'm going to go ahead and skip the whole boiling test, because to me, boiling water isn't a test. It's kind of adding filler, and I would much rather be able to show you guys how this performs with cooking. And like I said, this is a water pot. It really, I don't use it for much else than that. But let's go ahead and get into the durability and the design of the pot itself. So I'm going to go ahead and take the top off. You have standard kind of butterfly handles, kind of like mug style handles. That's because this is more like a large mug than a physical pot. Now this is a new one. I have not cooked in this. As you guys can see, this is one that I bought for my wife. I can't find my other one. It's somewhere. She tore apart our hiking room to organize everything and has organized it in a way that I cannot find it. So this one I could find, and this is the one I'm going to do the review on. But basically, you have your standard butterfly handles. They do have some friction to them, so they do stay put fairly well when they're open and closed. They don't have a tendency to wobble around all that much. You know, I mean, they do wobble a little bit, but nothing major. They do have the standard Toaks kind of cut out here for your finger. So it's a 3-finger hold. So 3 fingers go inside there, and then your pinky kind of sits down in that little notch. Makes it a nice, comfortable pot to hold. As far as the durability goes, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but you have 3 welds, or 6 welds basically, down each side. Here, 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 here. And through the use of mine, it hasn't loosened up. I haven't seen any examples of these, you know, piece of metal there starting to separate or anything like that. So, in my opinion, I have no doubt that this is going to be a lifelong pot. Based on the use I've put it through, or mine that I put mine through. So, in my opinion, it's just a good overall kind of pot. Now, since this is a water boiling pot, and I want to show it, kind of let you guys know that that is kind of what it's designed for. you know, cooking ramen, things of that nature. Most of the time the Toaks graduations will come all the way up here with the, you know, the 750 milliliters being actually up to the rim. So you can't fill it to the full amount. But with this one, the graduations stop here at 500. And the reason for that is pretty simple. If you put a brick of ramen and you break it up and you put it down in there, that fills the pot up to about here. So when you put your water up to that line and then you break the ramen up and you put it in the pot too, the water comes up to about that line, which then gives you plenty of room to put the top on and let it cook without having overboil. So even the graduations on this pot are more so for cooking ramen, if that gives you guys any concept of what this pot is really designed for. It's a great drinking mug. It's a great water boiling pot. It's great for cooking ramen, for boiling water for Mountain House. It's not going to be just to keep repeating myself, it is not a cooking pot. If you want to cook in it, you need to go ahead and get the 1100. That is the smallest cooking pot that Toaks makes, in my opinion. They do make a 900, but the 900 isn't much bigger than this. So I go with the 1100 and it works really well. If I want to make stews or I really want to cook anything like that, I use the 1100. You can certainly make some grits in here if you want to, you know, kind of instant style meals, but it's just too small to make anything more, you know, anything larger than that. And, you know, those of you guys who have watched my other Toaks videos and other videos of that nature, I really do enjoy outdoors cooking. To me, it's one of the reasons I go out camping is I like being able to cook outdoors. And so I pay a lot of attention to my cooking equipment. And this, in my experience, just isn't the best for that. It will do it, but it's just too small, heats up too quickly. It's more, you really have to pay attention to temperature control because of just how little is actually in this pot. It's very easy to burn stuff. So I really try to avoid cooking anything in here that's really going to take more than a few minutes. But there you have it with the actual pot itself. You know, it is graduated there. It does have ounces and milliliters. And this is type 1 or type 2 titanium. Toaks does not have a standard titanium they use type 1 or type 2. Both of which are extremely corrosion resistant and biologically inert, which means that this does not react with the human body in any way. So you don't have to worry about anything coming off of here that's potentially going to make you sick as far as the metal itself goes. Type 1 and type 2 titanium is also used more so in cooking equipment and things that are titanium that you find for over the counter, if you will, is going to be type 1 or type 2. The higher types, type 3, type 4, type 5 titanium, are used in commercial purposes, where they don't need as much corrosion resistance, what they need is strength. So type 1 and type 2 are really strong, especially for the thickness. So you don't have to worry about breaking or anything like that, but it has the corrosion resistance that you're looking for, where higher type, more pure titaniums can actually corrode over time, and they won't rust like steel will. What they'll do is they'll form almost like this oxidized coating, where type 1 and type 2 really don't do that. So basically there you have the inside. Just so you guys can see, it is a fairly small little pot. It is very, very light. In fact, it's so light you basically don't even know it's there. I can't remember what the exact weight was, but it's stupidly low. It's like, honestly, you know, it really has absolutely. Now I'm not gonna be able to balance it, so those of you who are waiting for that, no. But it's like so light, you know, so absolutely light. There's really no reason not to carry it. I mean, as far as cooking equipment goes, this is as light as you're gonna find. But, and I know a lot of people say, well, titanium, then it bends, it distorts. No, it doesn't. This one here, let me give you guys an example. You see, no matter how hard I squeeze on that, it doesn't really bend much. And that's because titanium is very good at that. Titanium is one of those things that even though it's very thin, unlike say aluminum, it holds its rigidity. It doesn't distort. So you don't have to worry as much about crushing this. Now you can crush it. If it's like at the bottom of your backpack like this and you got heavy stuff on top of it and you slam your backpack down, yeah, you're gonna crush it. But everyday use, you're not gonna damage it. Let's see. There was something else I wanted to go over with you guys when it came to this thing. I mean, durability wise, it's fantastic. The older pots, the older 750s and Toaks pots in general, had a problem with the lid. Now, this newer one doesn't seem to have that issue. My older one does, but this one doesn't. This is the newer one that I got from my wife. So, it looks like they make some changes, because those of you guys who remember, you could tap like this, and the top would come flipping off. But look. Nothing. I saw how much deeper that ridge is compared to the way it used to be. On mine, it's almost non-existent. And you guys who already have Toaks will know what I mean. But you see how deep that ridge is in comparison? It's almost, I'd say at least twice as deep as mine. So it actually is a lot more stable than it used to be. So I might actually have to replace mine with one of these newer ones, because those lid flipping things, that was annoying. But yeah, sits on there just fine now versus the older ones. So if you already own an older Toaks and you're looking for a fix for these lids that keep flipping off all the time, you can buy on the Toaks website lid replacements, and I think you can also buy them on Amazon. So I'll go ahead and in the link below, I'll post some affiliate links and see if I can find those lids for you guys. For those of you who own the older ones and want a more stable lid. But yeah, I mean those of you who own the old Toaks will know exactly how impressive that is compared to the old thing. Let's go ahead and go on to the rest of the lid here. Right here you have your little pot holder here, or not pot holder, handle, and of course you have your vents. Now, as with all Toaks lids, there is a little slit right there, so you slide this down into that little slit and it will keep it up. So no matter what you do, it won't fall over until you slide it back. Then you can put it down. So it still maintains the other benefits of the older lids, but without the drawback of that thing flipping up. I mean, you could look at the old ones wrong and the lid would pop off. So I'm really impressed by that. When I first got it and started messing with it, first thing I did was I pulled off the lid and to look at the pot, and I saw how thick that thing was, and I was like, I wonder. So I went, and it just stayed. I looked at my wife and I said, I hate you, because these things are so annoying. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, I'm sorry, we won't be doing a boil test. I want to do a cooking test in here, but the problem is, A, I'm not a fan of wasting food, and no one wants anything, and I'm not hungry. So I'm not gonna, waste food trying to cook it. The next thing is, the only thing I'd really be able to cook in here to demonstrate for you guys would be something like grits or oatmeal. And that everyone's cooked that stuff out on the trail, so you guys kind of have an idea of what that does anyway. But I wouldn't cook anything more than that in here. I wouldn't try to cook a stew or anything. And yes, I have cooked stews over a fire out in the woods. Why? Because I enjoy it. So I do stuff like that. I will cook a fish stew with natural edibles and stuff I've found in fish I've caught, and I've done it before. I will do it. It's what it is. I'll find what I can out in the woods, and that's that. But this is an awesome little pot, and the benefit is what I do. Now I'll show you in more detail later in my actual kit video when I put everything together and make the video for the kit. But what I do is I put my 450 cup in here, which is also Toaks, and my folding utensils in there, and put everything together just like this. And you have the standard Toaks bag, nice bright orange so you won't lose it. Good high quality bag. I put everything down inside the bag, because most of Toaks items are meant to nest with each other. There you go. A nice small little cooking kit that I can toss into my backpack. No problems at all. So there you have it, the Toaks 750. If you haven't already seen it, take a look at my Toaks 1100 and my Toaks 1600 videos. If you're looking for something that's a little more capable of cooking, go with the 1100. If you're looking for a family type kit that is still light enough for you to pack out and pack back, or pack out and pack back without killing yourself, take a look at the 1600. I've also done a review on that, so watch that video and hopefully I'll be able to give you guys an idea of which way you should jump. If you're a solo backpacker, this paired with a 450 cup and their folding utensils weighs practically nothing. I mean, you're talking literally, what was it? I remember the weight. It was about, for all three pieces, was about 4, just over 4. It was like 4.2 ounces, which is nothing for a cooking kit like this. I mean, it's like, actually I think it was less than that. Can't remember. But I know it was something 0.2 and it was really, really light. So I love this thing. It takes up almost no space in my pack. I don't have to worry about it getting damaged unless I do something stupid with it. And overall, it is a great pot. And the things that matter, your cup, your utensils, will all fit in here. So there you have it. The perfect solo ultralight base camp cook kit, or cooking pot. If you want to turn it into a kit, there are plenty of things that will fit in here too, like alcohol stoves and windshields and stuff that you can also buy that will fit in here. So there you have it. 750 pot, definitely worth buying. I will be posting affiliate links to this as well as my other pots and things from Toaks that I also use. And so go ahead and take a look at the description and shop around a little bit. But there you have it. There's the review. If you like this video, always remember to hit like button and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.